You either get bitter or you get better, my friend. It's that simple. You either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate, it always belongs to you. But you already know that, right? So I want to remind you today that wherever you are, it's only a choice. Will you find what excites you, or will you still stay in a state of begging or hoping or regret or blame or whatever? I know these states are so natural to us because we've been trained and used to feel them for such a long time that we think they're our nature. People feel guilt or blame or shame for such a long time that they say, that's who I am. But it's not who you are. It's not who you are. It's who you've been trained to be. If you think about your inner world, think about a garden. And garden is pure. That's why in the Bible there was Garden of Eden, because mind is actually this Garden of Eden. But then in this garden you've allowed other people to plant weeds and plant whatever kinds of plants that are producing poison. And now you've been poisoned, right? And you think you are this garden, but you're not. You're not. You're actually the one that is taking care of this garden. And I want to remind you, hey, take care of it. Take care of it. Pull out the weeds that are not serving your path. Pull out the weeds, pull out the toxins, pull out the beliefs that are saying to you who you don't want to be. And it's not a hard thing. You just need to recognize, do I still want to believe these things? If what you're thinking about is not building the future that you want to see, then let go of these stories, let go of these thoughts. And I know so many times people say, well, how to change that? Because it's so hard to change the way we think. But the truth is, it's really not hard. It's really not hard. We just need to focus on what excites us. We just need to focus on what speaks to us, what resonates with us. And then invest all of ourselves into it. And on that path, we just start noticing certain toxic people start, leaving us. And you need to know at that point, losing toxic people is a win. Losing toxic people is always a win. You don't need those who are constantly giving you more poison, right? You don't need those. So you recognize, I don't want to beg, I don't want to chase, I don't want to be needy, I don't need to be needy. I can just relax into knowing that whatever excites me, whatever speaks to my soul, to my heart, that's what I want to do. So you start thinking about your life more from a heart point perspective. And it just means you ask yourself, do I really want that? Do I really need that? Do I really want to do these things? And if the answer is no, well, something greater awaits you, right? Something greater awaits you. The world wants to pull you away from this understanding because suddenly you can't be controlled anymore. Suddenly you will stop being influenced by outside world, because you will notice that the real world is your inner world. And the real playground is your mental garden. That's where you should become more playful. You should plant your dreams in, right? And then the real work is to follow what you've planted, to be consistent with nourishing these seeds. So when you want to see something beautiful in your life, it means you stay devoted to beauty, right? You stay devoted to path that will make your life beautiful. You stay devoted to kindness that will make your world more kind. You stay devoted to truth that will make your world more truthful. You stay devoted to passion because it will make your world more rich with abundance. And this is the real art, right? They say go for it because missed opportunities hurt much more than rejection. Go for it because missed opportunities hurt so much more than rejection. You will be rejected, yeah, whatever, right? But one opportunity will turn out into the most incredible success. And those of you who've done it know it, right? And those who've experienced it most probably want to preach it onto others because it feels so incredible. It feels so incredible when you recognize that actually everything is possible when you decide to do it through you. When you stop following others, when you stop following opinions of others. They say the best weight you will ever lose is the weight of other people's opinion of you. And isn't that a fact? Let me know, isn't that a fact? The best weight you will ever lose is the weight of other opinions of you. So that's what helped me the most in my life. Because for example, when I've started making these YouTube videos and when my videos became a bit more successful, they started growing, I've started seeing many, negative comments. Because obviously every time a video goes viral, then you expose yourself to people who are maybe not into these subjects. And you see all this criticism and negative opinions of others, and then you recognize, will you be limited by that, or will you just accept that you don't need to change anyone? You don't need to change an opinion or a perception to anyone. Artists' job is to create art, right? Musicians' job is to create music. And we need to understand that whatever we choose, our job is to do it. We need to learn to manage our tasks. Like, what is my task in this position? Is it to create, or is it to carry what other people think about my creations? And it's same in everything you're doing. What is your task? Is your task to change your job, or is your task to carry what other people will think about you changing your job? Is your task to move to, a new country? Or is your task what your family members think about you moving to a new country? Are you living your life, or are you living other people's lives that are observing you and losing yourself in their opinions? Are you living your life, or are you losing yourself in opinions of others? And that is so powerful. Once we recognize that it's really up on us, it's up on you. Whatever you want to experience, it's up on you. And life is testing you. Many times life is testing you because even you don't truly believe in yourself. Because so many times you failed before and you think, well, it's just another way to fail. When you think about new opportunities, so many times you think, well, it's just another opportunity to fail. So you need to prove to yourself that you're worthy of consistency, that you're worthy of change. You need to prove to yourself that this time you're not playing around anymore. This time you've kinda decided, I'm not going back. Even though maybe in the future you will find yourself going back because there's something unfinished. But it will not feel like a failure. It will feel like a healing's journey or a healer's journey. So you need to understand that whatever you're going through is a part of your journey. They're not like winnings or winning and losing. It's not. Life is not about winning and losing. Life is about evolution. It's a journey where you're experiencing these moments of incredible happiness and then moments of incredible sorrow. But when you get a bit wiser, you recognize that those are truly not moments of incredible joy and incredible sorrow. Those are just moments where you're learning to accept. You're learning to accept that everything is a part of the path. Everything is a part of the path, and those are just different energies you experience. So one powerful example here is that I've noticed that every time good things were happening in my life, I was so excited and so grateful and so happy. And then when bad things started happening, I was so sad and so miserable and even depressed sometimes. And I've started wondering, well, how could I end this cycle? When good things are happening, I'm so excited that I experience quite a lot of adrenaline. And when bad things are happening, I'm so sad that I'm almost depressed. And I've noticed I just need to accept more. I just need to accept more. When good things are happening, I see them as natural phenomenon, like rewards of my work. And when bad things are happening, I don't see them as bad things. I see them as necessary things so I can make progress in my life. And when I see something as necessary, I can't not be grateful for it. So it's a training of your inner world to find reasons to be grateful. Everything is necessary if you see it like that. Or it can be a burden if you see it like that, right? So sometimes I fail a painting. It feels like a failure, but actually then it creates a background for a new painting that I put on. I repaint it. And that background then tells the whole story of the painting, that sometimes you start walking into one direction, but eventually you recognize maybe it was not the right direction and life turned you into other one. But if you would not go into the direction where you've started, you will never learn the lessons that you need later in life when you start walking the path of your purpose. And there's another example to that. In my life, I'm always sharing examples from my life because that's what's real for me, because I've experienced that. I had so many jobs that I hated in my life. And I hated them because they were boring, they were hard, and I needed to be in an environment that was toxic. It was toxic for me because of the air and conditions and everything. But at the same time, these jobs taught me that I'm worthy of so much more. If I would not be working at these jobs, I would never appreciate the ability to actually work for myself. What an advantage it is that I can work for myself, I can do what I love every single day. I would most probably never build a stamina and strength within me to build a life where I can work for myself and I can do what I love, I can create art and make a living out of it. So actually, while I was working at these jobs that I hated, I've developed a sense of thinking deeper, like what I truly want for me. What kind of job I would truly love to have. And once I had clarity around what kind of job I would truly love to have while I was working at a job that I hated, an opportunity found me to get a job that I truly loved. And for, I think, 3 years then I was working at a job that I loved until I've recognized I want more. Like, I'm still not free. I love doing what I'm doing, but I'm not free. And because I was going through it, I was able to think bigger and deeper, like what I truly want, what I truly need. And I've recognized I want to quit all of that. I want to go to travel. I want to find out what I truly want to do. So you see, even though something is a part of your dream, later it turns out to be just a certain phase in your life while you are finding a deeper dream or deeper passion. But you needed to go through it because it taught you something very important. Like my last job actually taught me so much about entrepreneurship. It taught me so much about how to manage people and paperwork and all of that. My boss was such an incredible boss. He taught me so much about relationships and about how to approach work, how to be productive, how to be consistent, how to, end deals and so on, which is very helpful for me now when I'm running my own business. So we recognize, well, doesn't matter at what phase of your life you are. Maybe you're somewhere where you're saying, oh, I'm not the phoenix yet. I'm somewhere in the ashes, right? Or I'm like at a point where the fire is slowly, I feel like the fire is turning on, but I'm still not a phoenix. But you will see, when you will become a phoenix, you will need the knowledge that you're receiving right now. And this is a painful path maybe right now, but eventually that pain will turn into pleasure, because the knowledge you're receiving right now will reap results. It will create results that you will see later. So pain always turns into pleasure if you stick to the path that is making you a better person. So I just wanted to remind you today, you don't need to chase anything, because already you are where you need to be. And if you have clarity around your dreams, even if you don't have clarity, clarity will appear when the time is right if you don't stop researching yourself. But always ask yourself what brings you excitement. At this point, like in the past, I was excited about sports. I was an extreme sport athlete. And when I was back at those jobs that I was talking about, jobs that I hated, I was deeply passionate about extreme sports, and I thought that I will become a professional athlete. And that's what I will be doing. So that was my dream, that was my drive, and that's what excited me back at that time. Because it also distracted me from the pain I was experiencing at the job that I didn't like. And it served me until at a phase of my life when I thought I will go all in with that dream of becoming an athlete, art found me. So it's a gradual process where one thing leads you into another. So don't stop chasing your dreams. Don't stop chasing your vision. Even though your vision will change and your dreams will change, and eventually you will become someone completely else than you think today that you are about to become. But you need to have this vision. You need to have this dream, this sense of who you are becoming, because it is inspiring you to move on. So you don't, lose yourself in a biggest trap of society that says you need to feel bad and then you need to hope that things will change, or you need to beg someone that will give something to you, or you need to constantly, look around and complain and wish that someone else will fix your problems. This is a disease of society. And you need to raise yourself beyond that and notice it's all about choices. Everything is about choices. Even though you've maybe not really chosen the life you're living right now from your conscious perspective, it's still what you choose to do with it. And sometimes it's a painful thing to accept that, but it's also liberating. It will liberate you from living a life you don't want to live. Because you will notice that with learning the right knowledge, with following inspiration, with building up perseverance for this phase, if let's say you are in the phase that is not pleasant to you, if you're not, you're already thriving, and I'm celebrating you. And if that's you, well, I hope someone sees you as an example. And I'm sure that someone does, because we are all influencing others. But if you're not there yet, I just want to remind you today that it's all about you choosing to keep up. It's all about you choosing to keep up. Keep seeing this bright vision for yourself. Keep going through the process of healing. And healing doesn't need to be something spiritual or mystical or whatever you've heard about healing. Most healing that happened to me in my life actually happened through doing what was the most scary for me. Because I've always when I've done something scary, something mystically interesting happened to me. Like, for example, when I quitted my job and me and Maya went to travel for a few months, because we said we'll be traveling as long as we find what we truly want to do. And then painting found me, art found me, and I've started meeting so many incredible artists, something I've shared with you before, completely randomly. And then I've asked myself, well, what a successful artist would do. If someone who's really successful at art, how he has established his life. And I thought, well, he need to open a company or something, where he can then charge for his work. He can send a bill to a person and person will pay him. So everything is official. So when we came back to Slovenia and I've started working on my art, the first thing I did, I've opened my company, even though I had created few paintings that were not even good enough yet. I've opened a company and I said, well, a successful entrepreneur needs to have a company, right? I've opened a company, and at the point where I needed to write a business plan, I wrote a business plan, quite precise one. I met a mentor because of this business plan, and my mentor introduced me to one gallery through which I had my first art exhibition, and at that art exhibition I've sold my first paintings for a bit bigger money. That gave me more to that dream, to that belief and faith that actually it's possible to make a living out of doing art. And then I've just kept up with it. I kept growing my knowledge around possibilities and around how else this could be possible and what else excites me. And it led me to this YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel led me to more people. And with more people come more opportunities and so on. And it's just don't stop. Just don't stop. And eventually things will unfold. So follow what excites you, my friend. Follow what excites you. If you can't find anything that excites you, follow the health. Follow what's healthy. Could you improve the health of your body? Could you improve the health of your mind? Could you improve the health of your environment? And once you will start taking care of that, everything else will start unfolding for you, reminding you what else to work on. And suddenly a sense of dream will awaken within you. So my friend, I hope you find a great value in today's message. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, and its store, AttractPassion. Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content, guided meditations, and so on. Thank you so much for choosing to support my work. And till next time, one love.